welcome to Movement Mondays. I'm Alex Weaver. For today's workout, all you're going to need is a yoga mat or a towel, something to do the exercises on, potentially a chair, do squats too. And then today, if you have either an object weighing between 5 and 10 pounds or a bag that you can fill with a few objects, so just as an example, you can use, this is just one of those like reusable canvas bags for groceries, whatever. You can use that and just put, in my case, I'm putting a weight in it, so just like that. So that's all you're gonna need for today. So we won't need that till later, and if you don't have something you can use, I'll have you do an alternate exercise that doesn't involve any weight instead. So, all right. So make sure you have some water today. It's hot, and we'll get started here in just a few seconds. All right, so it looks like we are good to go. So as always, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Make sure if you are watching from the Alien Athletes Facebook page that you are commenting on this stream on the ThunderWell page, because I will not see comments on the other posts. So we're gonna get started here in just a second. Let's make sure we have water today. It's like I've said the last few classes, it's really hot, so especially if you're in a room that's maybe not air conditioned or isn't very well air conditioned, pay attention to your body and make sure to take breaks as you need and hydrate. So we are going to start with some walkouts. So you're going to stand nice and tall, walk your hands all the way out into a plank, and then all the way back. We're going to do this 5 times. I think this is number 5, but I definitely just lost count. All right, so we're going to come into that plank position. Let me just adjust this camera angle slightly. So we're going to come into this plank position here, and we're going to bring one leg forward, just like this, and then open up toward that leg. We're going to hold for a second, and then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to do 3 per side. And you can bring both your knees to the ground. So we're going to do a set of cat-cows. So we're going to breathe up into our spine. Exhale, down, letting our chest drop towards the floor. And up and down. So we're gonna sit. You can sit with your legs out or your legs crossed, whatever is comfortable. We're gonna sit nice and tall. We're gonna take one arm, put it behind our back, and gently pull that head away. So you're gonna get a stretch in your neck, maybe in your upper trap, depending on where you're tight. We're just gonna take a few deep breaths. And then pull that head forward just a little bit. And switch sides. Make sure you are breathing. Pull that head forward. All right, and then you can stay in this seated position. We're gonna just rotate through that whole range of motion for our neck. Just a few times. All right, so go ahead and roll those shoulders. And we're gonna do a set of 12 Bloop Bridges. So lie on your back, your feet are gonna be hip width apart. You're gonna engage your core and then drive through your glutes and hamstrings to come up, hold for 2 seconds, and back down. So this for 12. All right, so go ahead and flip on over. And we're gonna do a set of 6 bird dogs per side. So on your hands and knees, extending opposite arm, opposite leg for 6 reps per side. Great. So let's go ahead and we will go into a squat stretch. So wide stance, a little wider than your typical squat stance. You're going to come down, grabbing your toes, and just rocking back and forth. So try to keep your chest up, using your elbows to really drive those knees out. And then coming up into a hamstring stretch. Just hanging here for a few seconds, maybe shifting back and forth in your hips a little bit. And back down into that squat stretch. Back up into that hamstring stretch. And then coming all the way up, we're going to get a little bit of a quad stretch in. So grab a wall, post, whatever you got, your couch, your chair. Pull one leg back, take some deep breaths. And switch sides. All right, so a couple more things. Let's do a calf stretch. So just like this, putting your foot against something. You can try keeping your knee locked, or you can bend the knee, see which feels more like a stretch. And we're just gonna hold. And switch. All right, so get some arm circles going. And then reverse. Maybe pull your arm across your body a few times. Stretch those shoulders. And I'm going to start telling you what we're doing for our first circuit today. So, like I said earlier, make sure you are hydrating. It's hot today. If you're in a room without AC, make sure you're taking breaks as you need. Listen to your body. So for today, like I said, all you need is a chair or something you can squat to in the second round of exercises. And then if you want, you'll have the option of either doing a bodyweight exercise or you can do rows. And I was suggesting that if you wanted to do rows using a reusable canvas bag with a heavy object inside of it, that would work. Or you can even just hold an object. That is the appropriate weight to do a bent over row. So let's talk about circuit one. So circuit one is going to be super pupil, push-ups, lateral lunges, and a hollow hold. So super pupil, you are laying on your stomach, arms extended out, squeezing your posterior chain to come up, holding for 2 seconds, and back down. So we'll do that a total of 12 times. Actually, just kidding, we won't do that 12 times. We're going to do that for 45 seconds. Next up, we are going to do a set of push-ups. So for push-ups today, we can do kneeling or full extension as always. You can also do them against a wall or on a box or a bench, whichever you prefer. So you're going to want to make sure that you are keeping, I'll turn this way. You want to make sure that your hands are positioned under your shoulders, your core is engaged, and your elbows are coming out at a 45-degree angle, and your chest is doing the work. So regardless of which type of push-up you choose to do, just make sure those elbows are coming out at 45. You're keeping that chest engaged. And even if you're doing them on a wall, same thing. You don't want your arms up here. You want your elbows tucked. So you're coming in, pressing just like this. And try to keep that core engaged. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be lateral lunges. So for these, you are in a wide stance. You are shifting over and back, just like this, always coming back up to the center. So each rep, you're resetting to this tall position in the middle. Last but not least, hollow hold. So hollow hold, you are laying on your back. You can start with your legs up. You're going to lower and hold. So you're keeping that core engaged so your back is pressed to the floor. You don't want to be arching. You want to keep that core engaged so that your back is pressed into the floor. The closer, so if you struggle with hollow holds, start by just holding here and then slowly extending out. The further out you extend, the harder it gets. So that's going to be circuit 1 today. I'm going to give everyone 40 seconds, and then we're going to get started with some super people. So make sure you have water, and we'll get started here in a few. All right, so let's get started with those super people. Ready and go. All right, so rest for a second, and then we are back doing these push-ups. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Whew. All right. So next up, we have those lateral lunges. So give everyone a few seconds. Five seconds. And go. And rest. So a few seconds rest, and then we have hollow hold. All right. Okay, so laying on your back. We're going to start in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Great job. Grab some water. For those of you who may have just noticed that the banner changed, I didn't realize the banner was blocking part of the screen, so I had the person running the feed change it. So thank you, Mina, for changing the banner. And make sure you're grabbing some water right now. For those keeping track of the temperature in the gym right now, it is 86 degrees, and I'm very sweaty. So hydrate, take breaks as you need. We're gonna get through this together. All right. So a few more seconds of rest. Then we're back at it with those super people. To 15 seconds. Five seconds. And go. All right, so rest for a second, and then we are back on those push-ups. Give everyone an extra 15 seconds, because it's hot. All right, 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Grab us some water if you'd like. All right, you ready? It's 5 seconds. And go. And rest. All right, so last but not least, we have another hollow hold for 30 seconds. Remember, when you hold your arms and legs closer to your body, it's easier, and then further away is harder. So Are we ready? 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Good job. So grab some water. We're going to talk about circuit 2. All right. So circuit 2 today, you have squats, dead bugs, jumping jacks, and rows. Actually, we're going to flip the order of the last year. So we'll do rows and then jumping jacks. So squats, you're going to want your chair for this, potentially. So you are making sure your squat stance is at least hip width, if not a little wider. You're engaging your core. Hips come back, knees come forward and out, and back up. So on the side, engaging that core, hips come back, knees forward and out, and up. If you feel like your calves are tight, you can elevate your heels on something that's roughly a 1/2 inch thick. So, for example, see with these weights, I put my heels on them. And so squat makes it a little easier. So if you feel like your calves are tight or if you're leaning really far forward, try elevating your heels. If you feel like you are struggling with balance, go ahead and squat to a chair, just like that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is dead bugs. So dead bugs, you're laying on your back, arms and legs up, keeping that core engaged so your back is pressed into the floor, extending opposite arm, opposite leg, just like this. If this is too hard for you, you can start with just the legs, tapping your toes on the ground. So you want to make sure you keep that core engaged. You don't want to arch your back. You want to make sure you keep that core engaged so your back stays pressed to the ground. So next up are those rows that I was talking about earlier. So this is where you have a reusable canvas bag or a weight or an object that can be used as a weight. You're going to use it. So I have a weight in here. If you have a bag, you can wrap the handles around your hands like this. You're going to sit back and then pull towards your chest. So just like this. So pulling those shoulder blades back. If you don't have a bag, you can also just hold the weight like this. So again, you're sitting back and pulling that weight to you by rowing your shoulders back. Put that in here. And then if you don't have a weight, you're just going to do I's, Y's, and T's, or YTAs, either one. For those, you're laying on your stomach, just like this. So Y, T, A. So either way, you're going to be working your shoulders. If you don't have equipment, do the YTAs. Last but not least, we're going to do jumping jacks. So jumping jacks, just like this, same as normal. So that's going to be circuit 2. So grab another sip of water. We're going to start with those squats in 15, just over 15 seconds. Five seconds. And go. and rest. So next time you have those dead bugs, we'll start in about 15 seconds. Remember, you're keeping that core engaged so your back stays pressed into the ground. 3, 2, 1, and go. Keep breathing. And rest. So, next up we have those rows. So grab your object, or your object in a bag, or your bag full of objects, whatever you may have. And we'll start now. Seconds. And rest. All right, so you have jumping jacks left in this round. Are we ready? And go. All right, grab some water. So we're going to repeat that. Excuse me. We're going to repeat that round one more time. Then we have a few core exercises, and you're done for today. Whew. It is still 86 degrees in here, for those of you keeping track. I thought by now it would go down. I was wrong. So grab some water, and in a few seconds, we're going to do some squats. If you want to hold the object that you're using as a weight for your rows, for your squats, you're welcome to. If not, that's also totally okay. And we're going to start in 15 seconds. So back to those dead bugs. If you want to switch up which variation you're doing this time, feel free. Got a few more seconds. Three, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Almost done. So, grab your object. I'm going to use this plate this time. So remember, you can do YTAs laying on the ground, or you can do bent over rows with an object. We're going to start here in a few seconds. Five seconds. And go. And rest. So last but not least, we have those jumping jacks. So grab a sip of water before we start those. All right. Are we ready? It's jumping jack time. And go. Whew. All right. Grab some water. You are almost done. So you have 1 minute of rest before we are doing a plank. So for this plank, you can do on your elbows or your hands. You just want to make sure you're keeping that core engaged. If you need to take breaks to reset to make sure your form is good, please do so. And we'll start in 20 seconds. 5 seconds. And go. And rest. Whew. 2 more things, 2 more things. So first and foremost, we have penguins. So penguins, you are laying on your back. Your feet are about hip width apart. And you are coming up, engaging your core, and then reaching for your heels. It's okay if you can't tap them. You're going to do one side at a time. So we're going to do 30 reps total, or 15 per side. Are we ready? And go. And rest. Whew. And last but not least today, we're going to do a crunch variation with one leg extended, and then we're going to switch which leg is extended. So you're going to do one leg bent, one leg extended, and you're just going to crunch up, engaging that core for 10 reps, and then you're going to switch which leg is extended. So that's your last thing for today, 10 reps per side, and start that whenever you're ready. All right. And that is all I have for you today. So, thank you to everyone who braved the 86-degree temperature with me. And like I said at the beginning, I'm Alex Weaver. I am coach and owner of Alien Athletes, and I coach this class every Monday at 6 p.m., same place, same time. Thank you to ThunderWell for sponsoring this class. And I think there's yoga this Wednesday, I believe. Maybe it's next Wednesday. But double check the event schedule. If there is yoga, it's great. Mimi's awesome. And I will see you all next Monday, same time. Bye.